Okay, outside OD mics, which is probably the most used piece of measuring equipment. OD mics are made in graduations of an inch, and then when they get bigger they have stems you take out and put in instead of using the whole body. That'd be pretty expensive. So they replace the anvil. You guys ought to know what this, what the parts of a mic are. See the thimbles, the part that turns. Some have thimble locks, some have ratchet stops. The spindle and then the anvil where you set. These are, all these mics, depending on how accurate you measure them, I mean, it's all a feel thing of how tight you want to squeeze on them. You just want to use them so you just feel a slight touch. And to check your feel, there's standards you can put between these, like a 1-inch standard. A 1-inch 0 to 1, you can close it up and see if it's reading on 0. But there's for their other sizes that you can't close up, like the 1 to 2. I brought a 1-inch standard. You mic that. So you need to check your accuracy of your mics periodically, especially if you drop them, which would be a very terrible thing. They're very expensive, probably 150 bucks a set for those. So you want to be careful handling them, put them on rags, you don't pile tools on them, don't throw them on top of tools, same way with any of these precision instruments. Pardon?
That one, how much?
That one, that's probably $2,500 anyways, if you'd buy that.
With the veneer?
Yeah, of that size. These indicators that people like to smash, they're like 150 bucks a pop. These mics, I don't know, these were like 100 bucks when I bought them back in the Stone Age, so they're probably double that now. So, point being, they're expensive, and you have to treat them as such so they keep their accuracy.
That 1-inch check, does that come with the mic? Or
No,
do you
this-
use gauge blocks or?
This doesn't. You can use gauge blocks. Some of the bigger sets come with standards included. Like when you get up to 12 and 13, you start switching the anvils around. You always check the standard with a standard. And that'll give you your feel too, because the bigger the mic is, the harder it is to get a good measurement, because they're just so big and clumsy. And you want to grab hold of the anvil part of it, hold that steady, and use this thimble part to move to get your feel, instead of jiggling the whole thing around. That's how I do it anyways. Seems to work all right.
It's been doing you a good service.
Yeah, it seems to. So, any questions so far? All right. I guess we can go over this to see. This is what this is their take on measuring something. Put the object between the anvil and spindle. Spin the ratchet until the spindle meets the object. Until you hear 3 clicks. But that's the basic. 58? Yeah, 57.5. So, I said it's all a feel thing that you have to. And I said once you get a standard and you make sure get a good feel on the standard that you know what size it is, then you can kind of judge your feel. So it takes a little bit of practice.
549.
549.
549.
Where were you measuring? Right
Oh,
there?
I was out here, sorry.
Okay. That's better.
You're like,
We'll see how straight it is. Yeah, it's 51.
51.
So you're squeezing too tight.
Okay.
Like I can hold it like that, and that's at 50, 51. You don't want to do that, but you're squeezing too tight.
Okay.
You wanna try it? Stevie? What are you getting on that 1 inch? You feeling it?
Yeah.
You getting 1 inch?
That's about 1 inch. I'm
Just
trying
till
to
it
move
makes contact.
Yeah.
Dan, you should do this too. To try.
And if it doesn't do that, it's one of two things. Either your feel is wrong, or like I said, what you're measuring isn't 1 inch. But this is a certified Starrett blah 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 1 inch thing, just like a gauge block. So you know it's 1 inch. Or you can get another set of mics and try that, or something else to measure. Here, Dan, give it a whirl. What are you doing? Still trying to keep me in the frame, or where's this guy?
We took you out.
Oh, you took me out.
You're talking about the dollar and then the quarter and then the penny.
Yeah.
I think there's also you can also equate that to what we get paid for a tool. So, you know, when the level of precision that's required in a mold is paid, the customer pays for that, and, you know,
Yeah.
in our mold price. Because the higher the tolerance, the harder it is to make, because you have to keep doing all the things we're doing in here and checking it and making sure it's, you know, and so it adds cost to
Yeah.
have to be able to hold those fine tolerances. Can I just use veneers?
I mean, you could,
You do it?
Inch.
and what she just said is an example of how some of the stuff we square up back there, you know.
Measure block.
We square up and we'll use a tape measure for plates that don't mean anything. I mean, and eyeball that, and you'll get it within 5 or 10 thousandths, as opposed to veneering it and taking another cut to get it closer. You tape measure and it's close enough.
Yeah, and that's representative, maybe I should add to this too, like how many decimal places and what instruments you should be using for each decimal place verification. You know,
Yeah.
like if
But, I
it's
mean, you can do it that way and
0.1,
turn it over
you
just
can
make
use
sure
a
you
tape
don't-
measure. If it's 0.01, you should use a veneer. If
Yeah.
it's 0.001, you should be using this,
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
It doesn't get. It
Some of
won't
these,
do it.
some of these smaller mics too, I hold them in here in these fingers. Use your pinky to hold it.
That's what Eric told me.
Yeah, like this, Wendy. Put it between your finger.
I can't even read it.
Can't do
I
that?
don't know who I'm kidding. Oh, it was upside down.
Oh.
See?
So anyways, yeah, you hold them in one hand and you should be able to just,
Hopefully
the
you-
smaller mics. So,
Okay, so how is the right one? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not listen.
put them in here like that.
So
Hold it
which
with
other
your,
hand?
you're right-handed?
Yeah. So like this?
Yeah, one finger in through the body
Okay.
of it. So you can just kind of,
And then-
so you can work this
Oh,
with
I
these
see.
fingers.
So you hold this on the left side underneath it. I have this underneath it?
Yeah, use your thumb and your
Put your
fourth.
thumb and
Yeah, I
anvil.
can do that.
You hold it with your hand.
Okay, try that again.
Yeah.
Because
Hatchets. And the locks, I don't use them either. Like I said, none of my mics
The
have them.
locks or anything?
Yeah, this is a lock right here.
Yeah.
For,
Oh,
for what, yeah, so once you get it to a certain point, you can lock it so the spindle doesn't turn, or the thimble. I don't know why you do that, but something they charge more money for, I guess. Okay,
Well,
here
if
we,
you're pulling it away, there's a chance that
No.
your thimble's loose, maybe.
well, you-
That's what Eric said.
yeah,
Because he has locks,
yeah,
but his are the
yeah, the handle,
Not
like
the-
this
not
here,
the-
like that.
no.
He's got one.
Oh, a
that's-
wheel?
He's got the one with the wheel on it.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay.
You know, I-
Well, it's
I
all
know those are back
preference.
in the back.
this just be a 2.
It's so hard to add.
It's all preference. I mean, if you like it and you use it, that's fine. These are bare minimum mics, carbide faces, so they don't wear the other. You know, there's graduations of going bigger, but they weren't.
Are you right-handed or left?
I'm right-handed. But it
Kinda like
says 2,
this.
but I don't know if that was
Two
right. That's
what?
why I made him check it. It just was
Oh.
on the 2, and then it was flopped around.
I hope it's not too.
Well, yeah, I hope it's not either.
That might be less than 1 inch.
But it was on that.
So what would that be? Not 2.
.375.
No, you got 1 inch in here, so 1 inch point.
too?
No.
The,
Decimals are read in 3 places generally. Well, they go out to 4 places, but so you got hundredths, tenths, and
yeah, but I don't
thousands.
even
So
see where you see like, okay, so that's 2.
it's
That's
a
a
matter
2.
of how you say it. 1 inch, 2 thousandths. This would be another if you got to 2 past the 100, so that the 1's uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes to the 2. That's 1 inch, 102.
There's some complicated stuff.
Dollars, $1 and 2 pennies.
$1 and 2 pennies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
102. Now, if it went another revolution, you have $1, 1 quarter, and 2 pennies. So that's 120 plus
7?
2, 7.
Okay. We need a little bit more practice on this one.
Said when it gets to the depth mics, which we'll get to, it's backwards. The numbers go backwards
That's
from
what
that,
got
so
me.
it's easier. It's easy to misread those, which I've done numerous times. So